welcome back to my craft room. I have a cute craft to do today that was actually a special request. So what we're going to need is one of these the galvanized welcome signs from the Dollar Tree. They come in a 3-pack, usually around the fall. This was in my stash. I try to keep a few in my stash. And I spray painted this black with the Rust-Oleum 2x flat, ultra flat black. That's what I used. But you can use any black, or you can keep it galvanized, but it will be on a galvanized surface. So I painted it black to match, or so that it won't match, so that it will stand out. Then we're going to be using one of these. What size are these? These are an 11 by 14 canvas from Crafters Square. We're going to be using one of those. We're going to be using some of the giant popsicle sticks or tongue depressors or whatever you want to call them. These came from Walmart, but Dollar Tree does carry them. But these are what I have on hand. We're going to be using one of these signs they had last spring, or maybe fall. They were in the garden section. This one says "This is us," and they're really cute, but we're just going to be using this part, and we are going to be using some little either blocks or the Tower Terror. No. Oh, you know, these blocks. You pull one out. Yeah, we'll get back to that. And then she asked for, the person that is requesting this asked for this to be done in sunflowers. And then I have a little bit of lambs there that we'll throw in too for good measure. And that's really basically all we are going to need. So, other than glue and all the things, you know, the common things. Of course, we'll need antique Waverly wax. I'm just trying to open the back of my canvas. My nails are taking a beating. I've been painting, as you know. Actually, I haven't even started painting. I started painting brick. Don't even get me going. The people that did the brick before me, I don't know. I guess they didn't take pride in their home. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, honest to God. But anyway, I'm not going to rant about that. It's just making my job a lot harder because they didn't do their job right. You know? I kind of feel like if you don't know what you're doing, you should really, really, really research it before you do it. All right, so now what I want to do is take my popsicle sticks, and I'm just going to cut the ends of them off. You can use scissors, but I have weak, sore hands, so I'm going to use these Fiskars. They're just, I don't even know what they are. They're awesome, though. My sister gave them to me. So we are going to just cut the rounded tips off, like that, so that we have as straight as possible. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be hot gluing these on and staggering them to make it look like shiplap. So I'm going to do a few, and I'll come back and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm about halfway through, and I just wanted, or a little bit more, and I just wanted to show you the shiplap technique. And so this is basically what I do. I just cut the ends. I'm just going to go over it again. So, you know, there's a long one here, so I don't want to put another long one here. I want to put a long one here and another short one. That way they, you know, don't overlap, and they would look more like shiplap. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just glue this one down. And then in some places I actually cut it so that there's 3 pieces. So let's just glue this right down. And then after, once you cut these, you end up with extra sticks. I'll show you. And so I'm saving my extra sticks that I cut off to make my next smaller stick. See? That might just fit perfectly somewhere. If not, that's fine. But like this stick, I can use now on the end here. The problem is, it's not a problem, is you have to cut the end of your sticks right, because if you don't cut them straight, and that's hard to do with sore, achy hands, but if you cut them straight, it flows easily. But if you don't cut your next piece straight, or every piece straight, the puzzle won't fit. But straight isn't hard, you can do straight. So there's that piece, and I'm just not gonna bore you for time's sake with the whole shiplap, but that's basically what you do. Now I will put, maybe now next one I'll put a short one, and then cut this one, the next one, longer. You see what I'm saying? So that we have all these seams in the middle. That's all. I'm just gonna keep cutting to fit. Okay, so now we have our shiplap all done, and it's all trimmed on the back and sanded. Now we're going to just give it a little zhuzhing up with our Antique Waverly wax. And I like to give it a little spritz of water on my wood before I put this Waverly wax on. And it's really just your own preference. But I like to do it because I feel like it spreads my... You don't want it soaking wet. That's why you see me wiping it dry with a paper towel. You don't want it soaking wet, but when you get it just damp, a little bit damp, it just helps your wax, antique wax, go on more like a stain. So that's why I like to do that. Just wet it a little, and it just helps spread that wax. So this is, you could paint this white too. This is a special request. It's something very similar to something else I made that they liked. And so I'm going with the same background. This is for you if you're watching, Cindy. Let's see, I might need a little more paint on my cover here. So this is different than a usual, you see me usually doing a dry brush technique. This is different. I am mostly using this as a stain this time, instead of a wax. Well, I mean, it's a wax, but I am using it more like you would a min wax. I want it darker, but the water cuts that so that it's not so thick that you can spread it. And I don't think I picked a very good brush for this. A bunch of my brushes are in the house because I needed to wash them, and I did wash them. I just didn't bring them back down to the craft room. Alright, a little more water because that was drying. And what this does is it helps the shiplap pieces show up. So I should have got a chalk brush. It doesn't really matter, but this is a brush that I had chopped the hairs, the bristles down, because I needed it to be more of a, that day that I was using it, I needed more of like a stipple brush. So it's not really a good paintbrush for this technique, but that's alright because we're going to make it work. we are going to make it work because that's how we roll. So this is a little time consuming, so make sure that when you set out your day to do this, you have plenty of time. And take a little of that wax right back off. Rub it over the whole thing. You know, wipe, wax on, wipe off, something like that. How's that saying go? And we're just taking the excess so that it is not paint, but more stain. We want to see the wood grain, and we want to see all the detail. We want to get rid of those fingerprints that I just made. All right. So this is going to need a little bit of drying, but this is the technique. So I'm going to dry this up. Okay, so this is our shiplap, and we sanded the edges off camera. I sanded it down, zhuzhed it up a little bit. And now I am going to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm going to take my little Jenga blocks and elevate our little washboard tin here. So let's look for our placement. That's about right. Oop, don't drop it. Went right in my pocket. I get a lot of things in my pocket. All right, now this is the back. So I'm just going to place my Jenga blocks right down on my little washboard on the edges. I'll put them on the outside edges because we're elevating this a little bit just so that we can stick stems. Oh, I don't even know if we're going to need the stems. I actually cut them off, but I want this elevated anyway. Just a little bit. Okay. And then I am going to take a little burlap ribbon. It's just kind of a afterthought. Let me see. That one is not burlap. Let me see here. I might not have any burlap. This is spider web, or I have the brown. I think the brown. I'm just going to put a little bit of this brown burlap around the top of my galvanized piece here. Let's get this on. Oh, it's got a long piece of tape there. Okay. I just want to hide the edges on the top, so I'm just cutting a little piece. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put that over the top. But actually, I don't like it. It's too dark. So we're going to skip that altogether. I wish I had some lighter burlap, but I can't seem to put my hands on any. So we're just not going to do that. But that's okay because all of the Spanish moss will cover that up anyway. Now I'm just going to go for some placement here and commit. So I'm going to put a lot of glue on the back of my Jenga blocks. Jenga. What am I saying? Jenga. That's because I used to watch these people. They were awesome. They were called Grandma and Jenga. Oh my goodness. I found them on YouTube back when the pandemic first started, and they were it was Grandma and Jenga. You'll have to YouTube them. Cracked me up. Grandma lived to be like 106 years old, and I think Jenga lived to be like 103. But they were just a hoot. I don't know if you're familiar with them. So, but I'm saying Jenga blocks. Jenga blocks. Okay, so now I'm just going to place down my flowers wherever I see fit. I'm going to try to cut it off a little more blunt than that because I want it flatter, a little bit flatter. So let's just place that. I'm going to place my first one nice and close down at the bottom. And I'm just going to hold that down real quick. And we're just going to place these around. You know me, I'm not a good floral designer. Okay, so I have my flowers glued on just wherever. I did go with 4. I don't know why. I like the 4. And now I'm going to take the Spanish moss and I'm just going to take little pieces of it. Okay, probably really little, just so that they're manageable. And then I am going to just start gluing some of these on to the board behind the flowers. And we are going to put lamb's ear on this too. So, but I just want to fill up some of the background with some Spanish moss. You could use Excelsius. This is from the Dollar Tree. You could use reindeer moss. Whatever you have. You could use no moss, and you could just really fill up your background with greenery. This is what I'm going to do on this one though. So I'm just going to place a whole bunch of these little groupings or little bunches here. Like that. And I'm just going to continue filling that in, and then we'll come right back and we'll start putting some lamb's ear on it. Alright, so this is what we have so far. We're filling up all that background. And now I'm just going to start putting in some of the, already lost my, oh here they are. I'm just going to start placing in some lamb's ear here and there. Like, I'll stick one in here. I'm going to try to get it down on the wood if I can, so it touches something really good, you know, and it will stick. And then I'm going to stick another one. This one has 2. I'm going to stick this one down under in here. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to look at it and decide where it needs a little something. And then keep going until I feel like that is enough lamb's ear. So I have my lamb's ear on, but I still am feeling like it needs another green. It's too flat. It's not alive yet. It needs to come alive. So I'm going to take these Dollar Tree thingies that you get. They're really cheaply made. I'm going to take a couple of those sprigs and stick some in and out in different places. I'm going to add a couple of different, and you can add, I'm having a hard time with this here, you can add any greenery, you know what I mean, any greenery that you have or any greenery that you want. And I love the lamb's ear, and I still might add another one. But right now, I'm thinking we need some greens that are different, you know, just to maybe stick out here and there. And so that's what we're going to do. Let's glue a couple of these on. Just stick that one right where it was. It looked good. And I just add a little bit of glue. Make a little hole with my finger, and I'm going to hide that. Just want that sticking out just a little here and there. I'm going to stick another one out coming out down here. Just a little glue. And I'm going to just stick it down right under there. I just want more of a 3D effect, if you know what I mean. Let me snip another one off. These are really cute. They have that dusty, here, let's put a sprig up the top there. It has that dusty appearance, so it makes it look a little more real or realistic. All right, let me take a look. I think we need another one down here, a little bit shorter. And then we'll take one more look, and we still have to put our little welcome sign back on. And see, now I might want another lamb's ear there too. Let me look at it. Okay, I want another one of these sprigs. I think right up here there's a little bald spot. I'm going to just take a short one off, and I'm going to stick it in here. Just like I said, it's got a bald spot, so we're just filling up the little bald spots. I'm going to put one more. Should I just do another lamb's ear here? Oh, I kind of want a lamb's ear there, but we have to be careful because we're going to put our welcome here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to add one more little lamb's ear right here, just for good measure. And I want that to be kind of sticking out a little bit. Give this a little haircut. This is a little wiggly. We'll glue that down a little better there. Alright, let's take a look at this. At all these cobwebbies. Yeah, I like that better. That's filled up much more now. Alright? Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Now we have to put our welcome word on, and we want to place that over the holes. See the holes here? The two holes that are This Is Us was on. So what I like to do, because it's really hard to place this where you are going to touch, right? Because it's that galvanized. So I'm just going to take my pencil and make a couple of markers. So the hole, over the hole, over the hole, and do that. And then we'll place that down. And it gets very hot, so be very careful. Okay, this is almost all finished. We do have to make a ribbon hanger for it with a couple of little knots on this side. So let's get out the ribbon. I gotta find the one. Okay, here it is. All right. Oh, that is so cute. What do we think? What do we think? Loving the shiplap, the galvanized. Okay, so now we have to make a ribbon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the ribbon onto the back of the hanger, and I'm going to make knots on the front and tie them, glue them. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to take, I don't measure, I'm just taking a couple of pieces, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot. And I'm going to tie it in probably a double or triple knot. I want a good knot. I want you to know that it's supposed to be a knot. You know what I mean? Alright. So there's one. side, and I'm going to clip off as close as I can. So this is what we have. Hope you can see that. I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. Just make a knot. There might be a better way to do this, but this is what I do sometimes, because sometimes I make a hole right through the backing and tie a knot, which is preferable. But this time I used a canvas, and I just don't want to make a hole in the canvas, so I'm doing it this way. Cheating, I'm cheating. All right, so I have these two knots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over my board, and I'm just going to glue my two pieces of ribbon right down on top here. And you know what? I got a couple of tongue depressors left over from this, so we can just use those to help this stay on as a little anchor. So here, show you what I mean. A little glue. This is what I'm doing to the back. And I'm going to just drape my ribbon. Oh, I glued my ribbon on upside down. We're going to take it off real quick, put it right back down. Nobody will know the better, except for you guys. The reason is it has stitching on one side. Okay, so we want that to show. So now I'm going to take it over to the other side. Do the same thing. I'm just going to put down some glue. Stick my ribbon down and hold it down with my little piece of popsicle stick. It helps finish your edge, and it also just makes it a little more strong, you know, a little more anchored. Now, before we're done, we got to come over to this side, and we got to take our knots, whoop, and we got to just glue our knot on this side where it looks like it's coming through. Looks like it's coming through this side. And I'm going to cut this at a slant so it doesn't fray. And I'm going to do the same one. I'm just going to cut this one so it doesn't fray before I put it on. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to put this little knot just as if this little knot was coming through the board. Like so. And this is what we have. How cute is that? Looks like it's going right through, but it isn't. But you can hang it. So I'm just going to take all the little cobwebbies off this, clean it up a little bit, and this is going to be ready for Cindy. I hope you like it, Cindy. I sure did have a lot of fun making this. Thank you for asking for it. All right, everybody. Now, if this is something that you think that you would like to make, let me know in the comments. I love comments. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you do make it, and if you use sunflowers or if you use any other flowers. Now is a great time to give me a thumbs up. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you are not already a subscriber, because we're going to be doing a giveaway when we get to 250 subscribers. And we are at 230 already. I am so excited. Thank you everybody for sharing this with your friends, family, and social media. That really helps my channel grow. And I think this will do it for this craft. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. And until I see you again, you know the drill. Be good and do good. Bye now.